Hola y bienvenidos. Hello and welcome. It's Mrs. Llewellyn Lloyd here. I'm going to be taking you through your first GCSE Spanish lessons. Now obviously this isn't how we'd imagine starting your GCSEs, but we're just going to do the best we can to get you started on the first topic. We're going to be starting with food and drink. So before we get going, what you're going to need is either an exercise book or a notebook, as it says on your screen. If you do use an exercise book or notebook for the tasks, you will also need to somehow upload some of your work, so either with photographs or if you choose to type some of it, so that we can mark it on Moodle. Or you could create a hub folder. I've just noticed it says GCSE French there, obviously it should say GCSE Spanish. So create a hub folder, GCSE Spanish, to save all the work that you'll be doing, and then you can use that to share your work with me for marking. So let's get started. So our first topic for today is la comida y las bebidas, food and drinks. So this comes under the GCSE theme of identity and culture and the lifestyle topic. Now through Year 9 you have actually already started your GCSE technically, as we have covered a lot of the themes and topics that are part of the course. So it's not like we're starting from scratch, you have actually done some of the work for GCSE already. So a little starter task to begin with. How many of these foods or drinks do you think you recognise? If you'd like to pause the recording for a moment to have a little look through those, you don't need to write anything yet, but does anything jump out at you? So we'll come back to that vocab in a moment. In your books or on your document, could you write the title on the screen, please? Now, usually you know you'd write en clase. Obviously you're not en clase, you're not in class, you are en casa, at home. And you could also fill in the date. So you're going to need the day of the week, el, then the date. Then I'm assuming you're doing this in June, so it's de junio. And los objetivos hoy, the objectives for today, I can name food and drink items in Spanish, I can say what food and drinks I usually eat, I can include opinions and time phrases in my writing. Okay. So first little task for today, I'd like you to match up this vocab for food and drinks. If you write or type out the Spanish and have a guess at the English, which is on the right hand side jumbled up. If you are using a Word document or any type of online document, I suggest you type it out rather than copy and paste, as it's going to help you remember. Also, remember, if you're typing, you need to insert, then symbol to get the accents. And in Spanish, the accents always go up from the left up to the right. So pause the recording here to complete that task. So here are your answers. They're all matched up for you there. So again, pause the recording here and check that you've got all of those correct in your book or on your document. So you'll also notice in the lesson folder there's a detailed vocabulary list. I'm going to take you through that briefly now for a bit of pronunciation. So all the previous vocab we've just seen and a lot more are on that sheet. Now I suggest that you either print it or save it to your folder so you have it to hand throughout this topic. So here's the vocab sheet. I'm going to go through the vocab with you, so a couple of minutes now to practice pronunciation. So repeat them after me and remember what's here so you can come back and use this in future throughout this topic. So, condimentos. Aceite, azúcar, mostaza, pimiento, sal, vinagre, mayonesa. Bebida, agua mineral, café con leche, cerveza, chocolate caliente, la leche, limonada, naranjada, sidra, té, vino, zumo. Pescado, atún, mariscos, mejillones, salmón, trucha. I'll just scroll down so we can see the rest of the page. Verdura, legumbre, fruta, aceitunas, cebolla, cereza, champiñón, col, repollo, coles de Bruselas, coliflor, ensalada verde, frambuesa, fresa, guisantes, judías verdes, limón, manzana, melocotón, patata, pepino, piña, plátano, pomelo, tomate, uva, zanahoria. Okay, go up to this box here. Arroz, cereales, harina, helado, huevo, mantequilla, mermelada, pan, pan tostado, pan y mantequilla, pastel, nata, patatas fritas, queso. Down here we have carne. Carne de vaca, cordero, chuleta, filete, jamón serrano, jamón de York, paté, pato, pavo, pollo, salchicha, salchichón, ternera. We do have another page. I know this is a lot of vocab. We're almost there. So utensils, these sort of things do come up in readings or listening sometimes, so it's good to know. El abre botellas, el abre latas, bodega, botella, cacerola, cafetera, cubo de basura, cuchara, cucharadita, cucharada, cucharilla, cuchillo, congelador, fregadero, grifo, jarro, lata, lavavajillas, microondas, nevera, plato, el sacacorchos, taza, tazón, tenedor, vaso. Up here, aperitivo, entremesas, primer plato, postre. These words we're going to see a bit more today. Desayuno, merienda, comida, cena. Sabor, sopa, tarta, tortilla. Okay, there's a lot of vocab. So just remember that this is here on your vocab sheet to use for your writing, for your speaking. You can come back to that. Okay, so just a couple of Spanish dishes I thought we'd have a look at. So el pollo, we've got in here chicken. Now this is a paella, a rice dish, which I'm sure you've heard of before and possibly tried yourself. Another thing very popular in Spain, el jamón. So this is a dried cured meat. Quite often they'll have it on bread as part of tapas. Very delicious. I'm sure some of you may have had that, particularly Christmas time. El queso, cheese, manchego. This is a very popular Spanish cheese. Quite hard, quite salty, very tasty. El pan is bread. Now this is quite a popular breakfast dish actually, pan con tomate, tomatoes on bread with a bit of olive oil and garlic, very tasty. And another Spanish dish you might be familiar with, or Spanish food, is las salchichas, sausages, but this one in particular, el chorizo sausage. Okay, so moving on to meal times. In Spain they have 4 meal times. So el desayuno is breakfast, el almuerzo is lunch. Sometimes el almuerzo is also referred to as la comida, just food, as it's usually one of their biggest meals of the day. So they do refer to it as food for lunch sometimes. La merienda as a snack, and la cena is your evening meal. You pause the recording here and make a note of those 4 meal times. Okay, so each meal time also has its own verb. Now in English we say to have breakfast. They actually use the verb desayunar. Remember, verbs end in AR, ER or IR in Spanish, and these all happen to end in AR. Almorzar is to have lunch, merendar to have a snack, and cenar to have dinner. So then if you say I have breakfast, for example, we're then turning that verb into present tense by taking off the AR ending and adding the O for the I ending. So desayuno is I have breakfast, almuerzo, I have lunch, meriendo, I have a snack, and ceno, I have dinner. So if you pause the recording here again, make a note of those verbs and how they would change for first person. Okay, next task here, leer, to read, so reading task. Have a read through this short text and answer the following questions on your document or in your book. Pause the recording here while you complete that. Okay, when you're ready, you'll see the answers for you to check. So how old is Maria? 14. What does she eat for breakfast? Eggs or cereal? Where does she have lunch in school? What does she drink at lunch? Lemonade. What does she have for dinner? Fish or chicken with salad? And what does she have for dessert? Ice cream. Right, so how do we ask each other about what meals we have then? To ask what do you have for breakfast is ¿qué desayunas? Now if you notice, desayunar has become desayunas, second person, AS ending. So out of these four options, say an answer now that is represented by the picture. Here. So you should have chosen desayuno fruta. Now, what could we add? What is added with the second picture? Say a sentence now. Desayuno fruta con cereales. Muy bien. So, sorry, just go back. So con is with. So this is one link word you could use to extend your answers. So what else could we add then? Another image there. Lengthen your sentence again. Desayuno fruta con cereales y tostadas. Muy bien. Now what else could we use when we're talking about food and drinks to make our answers a bit more interesting? Opinions, opiniones. So these are some of the most common opinions, phrases which you should be familiar with. Perhaps me cae fatal, I can't stand, is a new one to you. Now that's excellent if you can get that into your speaking or your writing. As that as an idiom, so it counts as more complex language for the higher grades. We've also got mi comida favorita es, my favourite food is, mi bebida favorita es, favourite drink is. Now if you just want to say I eat or I drink, it's como and bebo, from the verbs comer and beber. And then underneath we've also got some time phrases that could extend your writing also. So, siempre, always, normalmente, normally, a veces, sometimes, de vez en cuando, now and again, nunca, never. So, any of those now that you didn't know, pause the video here, make a note of them, please. So, your final task for this lesson, escribir, writing task. Use everything that we've done throughout this lesson to describe what you like to eat for breakfast, lunch or dinner. Remember, you've got that reading task for Maria that you could use as a guide. You've got all the vocab we've been through, and you've got the opinions and time phrases. So, pause the video here, use this slide and everything you've done to write a detailed paragraph about what you regularly eat or drink, what you like, don't like, and could you give a reason even to extend your answer. Okay, pause the recording here. Muy bien, para terminar, to finish today then. So give yourself a what went well and even better if, thinking about the objetivos, the objectives for today. Can you name food and drink items in Spanish that you didn't know before? Can you say what foods and drinks that you like? Have you given opinions and time phrases within your writing? So if you've given any reasons or any different opinion phrases. When you're done, upload your work to Moodle for marking in the assignment drop, and if you're working in a book, take a photo of your work to upload, and obviously the most important bit for me to be able to see is your writing task. Okay, muchas gracias, year 10, well done on your first online lesson, and I will get back to you once I've marked your work. Muchas gracias, adios.